All right, what's going on? What's going on? We back with another edition of the ATL Three Style Podcast. I am one of your co-hosts, Leo G. And as you can see, it's four of us today, and we're gonna get right on into it. I'm gonna hand it off to my usual co-hosts and let them go ahead and see how they doing this fine evening. What's going on, my man Banks? What's going on, brother?
What's going on, Leo? How you feeling, Mr. Derrico? I see you over there, brother. Miss Porter, how you doing, ma'am?
I'm good.
I'm Gucci over here, baby boy. I'm Gucci over here.
Trying to beat that heat, man. That Georgia heat. It's already gotten hot. We just getting into the summer. And as y'all can see, we have a guest, a lovely guest that joined us this evening. She goes by Miss Porter, Lauryn Porter, with Quarters with Porters. That's what she does on her YouTube channel and on her Instagram. How are you this evening?
I am doing great.
Wonderful, wonderful. We are glad that you were able to join us this evening, man, because, you know, we're fans now. We were able to see some of your work, and we see that you're all about the ATL, man. So we definitely want to get into how you got started, right?
Yeah, really, I grew up here and my dad is like a really big sports fan, but he didn't grow up here. He grew up in Maryland. So he was like a Redskins fan. So like when he moved here, he became a Falcons fan, and this is like where he raised his family. So like he made us be Falcons fans since we're like born and raised here. So yeah, that's really where it started. And then like when I got older in like high school, and that's when I started like really getting into like learning about players and like learning the history of the team. Cause like I would like watch them, but like I didn't really like get into it till like high school. And then
Okay.
it just blossomed from there. And then I went to school for journalism. So then I started making like the sports content while I was still in college so that I could like build my own brand and like make my own name for myself. And so far it's been working out pretty good.
Absolutely, definitely, man. Banks, I know you got some questions for Miss Porter this evening, man. Talking about Atlanta sports, all things Atlanta sports.
Absolutely, Miss Porter. Like I said, I've been watching your shows, all different episodes, and it's like I go down this rabbit hole. I watch one of your, your games that you do,
Mhm.
your vlogs at the live at the football game. I'm like, let me see what you did at this game, because I'm a season ticket holder myself, and I'm like, yeah, I remember that play, and this
Yeah.
happened, whatever. So, how long you been doing that, vlogging in these football games? Have you been, is this something you just did recently, or is something like, you kind of picked it up slowly and then you realize, okay, I can do this every week now?
It really started on Twitter. Actually, I started like tweeting about like the Hawks and the Falcons, and then I started like building a following on there. And then that's when I realized I always liked being like in front of cameras and like talking and like doing all that kind of stuff. So like I kind of realized I could make my own channel like on YouTube since I already have followers on Twitter, and then they could go like watch me virtually, like off of the tweets, like me actually like talking to like the camera. And so like I just thought I should like go to a game and vlog it and then see if people like it, and people liked it. So then I just started doing it every week. Last season was my second full season, and that was the first time I went to every single home game. And my first time that I went to like away games and vlogged the away games too. So yeah, people really liked getting to like see, like especially fans that don't live here, being able to see like how a day is at a Falcons game or like away games. Some people don't have the opportunity to go to away games, so it's like they can see what it's like to be an actual fan at those games. So yeah, I really love making like the game day content, and then like on TikTok I'll do like my outfits and like everything I wore, so all the girls like to watch and see like, oh, was she ready this game today? Like, so yeah, it's been really cool to like build a fan base of people who are fans of the same team as me, because it's like a tier under, like, so yeah, it's cool. It's been fun. And I meet a lot of people at the games too, so that's always cool. Like sometimes they'll even be in my vlogs, so it's always fun to do that.
So I want to
Yes, sir.
follow up on something, Miss. I'm not gonna call you Miss Porter. Can I call you Lauren? Because I think
Yeah.
Miss Porter's the one for me. So I like what you said about your dad when you said he made you an Atlanta Falcons fan. So how did that work as far as in y'all's household? You probably was born. I'm assuming that you was born in Maryland. So how did that transition that your dad moved here
Mhm.
and started rooting for the Falcons?
So I was actually born here. Me and all my siblings, we were born here. My dad moved over here when he was like 21. So he like started like becoming like a Falcons fan when he moved to Atlanta because he was like, this is gonna be my new home, like where I raised my family. So I'm gonna like intertwine into the Atlanta culture. And so he like will always like talk about sports and like bring up sports because he has three daughters. So it was like, you know how dads always want that son to like relate to sports with and stuff. So I was just the one that it like latched onto because I always loved like the atmosphere of sports games. That's really what got me like loving sports because I love to like go to a game and like feel the actual like energy in the room, especially when it's like a tight game or like a close game. It's always fun to like, especially when you really genuinely care about the team. It's like the anxiety is like a fun anxiety. Like, so yeah, that it just really latched on and like he that's like the first team I was introduced to, and it's like the hometown team. So that's really why it was just like, yeah, the Falcons, that's gonna be my team regardless. The Hawks gonna be my team, the Braves, Atlanta United now, like just everything Atlanta. I've never understood how people become fans of teams that they're like across the country that they can't even like go to. I guess if you have like a player like Kobe, I know a lot of people are Lakers fans because of Kobe and stuff, but like besides that, I can't see how like I wouldn't be a Golden State fan. I'm all the way in Atlanta. Like
Yeah,
And I'm
it's
glad you
interesting.
said that. I'm so glad. I'm sorry, Leo. I was saying that the team chose you. You didn't choose the
yeah.
team. You know what I'm saying? So, I
Absolutely.
we have this thing here in the city where we just like, well, how in the world is this happening? Where you got a melting pot of different fans. But I mean, we
Mhm.
know why. I mean, everyone
Mhm.
moved here, but I think it'll be a different story had this X team had much success. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like we won't be talking about an unflow of I don't know, Commanders fans coming to our stadium
Yeah.
because we're not, winning. But had we been multiple championships, I think it would
Mhm.
be the other way around.
Oh,
That's just
definitely.
my opinion. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's interesting that you said that, like to piggyback on what Banks said, because most people that are transplants that come to Atlanta, they keep their home,
Mhm.
devotions to their teams that they're from. So it's kind of cool that your dad said, "Hey, I'm gonna plant roots in another city and I'm gonna just go all in." You know what I'm saying? ATL, because that's a rare story that you usually hear. It's usually, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying. Usually, it's funny too because it's a lot of people like yourself are born here, but because their parents are from New York or
Yeah.
LA, then they want to latch
Mhm.
on to those teams because my parents are from LA or my parents were from New York or whatever the case may be. But listen, Lauren, I'm gonna call you Lauren now since we kind of got all of the formalities out the way. So check it out. I know you've vlogged a lot. I've watched your vlogs at the Falcons games and even at Atlanta United. You were just at a Dream game on courtside not too long ago. And we talk about this all the time on the show about the atmosphere and everything here in this city when it comes to like sporting events. I think
Mhm.
sometimes in the national media we get a bad rep, but just from your perspective, like just let everybody know from your perspective, man, how the energy and atmosphere is here in Atlanta at the sporting events.
I actually always like get into it with people in the comments because they always think like, oh, like the Falcons don't have a real fan base, the Hawks don't have a real fan base, but like I I've been to every single Atlanta sports team game like multiple times, and I can say like the atmosphere is it's crazy. Like people like I feel like we have like very genuine fans. So like when people, especially when we're performing well, that's when I'll say people show out the most is when we're performing well. Like when the Falcons were 6-3, the energy of those games was like top tier. Like especially like the Buccaneers game. That's probably one of my favorite games I ever went to when Kirk Cousins threw for 500 yards and he had like them 5 touchdowns and we ended up winning in overtime. Like that game was so insane. Like it'll forever be in my memory. So it was like the energy is always really high, and I feel like our stadium is so huge and we still like Mercedes-Benz and we still are able to like fill it out pretty well. Like I don't really see a lot of empty seats, so I don't know where the whole narrative of the Falcons stadium is empty comes from because I've never seen it empty. Even when we started losing, when we was on a losing streak, it was still full. And then like the Hawks, even they had like struggles this season, and I worked there this past season, and I even saw like it was pretty full. And like when they perform well, everyone's standing up, they're cheering, like they're yelling on for the team. The dream game, those are always sold out. Like, and they've been performing really well this year. So I feel like it's going to get even bigger and better to the point where they're going to need a new stadium. And yeah, Braves games, they've been struggling this year, but they still pack out Truist Park. Like, I feel like even though our teams kind of struggle sometimes, I feel like people always show up and show out, whether that's to just go to a game or whether that's to support the team. But I feel like the energy is always there unless they're just losing terribly.
And Lauren, I'm gonna piggyback on that. You know, a lot of people, you know, with the narrative about Atlanta fans not as, you know, too lax, too don't care
Mhm.
about the team, no passion, whatever. You know, it's always the ones that never go to the games. You know, it's
Yeah.
always like, oh, I seen on TV, you know, they paying to the crowd right after
Mhm.
halftime when people still getting nachos and stuff, that there's nobody in the seats. Well, you know,
Yeah.
if you just sit there and wait and watch, I mean, the
Mhm.
stadium is full. You said a mouthful. I've been to a couple of dream games myself, Lauren, and wow, like
Yeah.
I'm looking out, I'm looking around, I'm like, I'm sitting next to people, like I'm
Mhm.
enclosed, you know. They got to move that to a better, bigger venue.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
definitely. I think they're not
College
wrong.
Park, it cannot hold that many people anymore.
Mhm.
They're winning in good fashion.
Mhm.
That stadium, well, I'm gonna say a gymnasium. That's what it is, a gymnasium. It's basically it's too small for this team, and they got to
Mhm.
go back to State Farm.
Yeah,
As
they
for the
played the
Braves,
first game.
man, I'm sorry, Laura, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was
Oh
about
no,
to
I
say,
was
you
saying
know,
they
the
just played the
Braves.
first game.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, they got a game tonight. I think they play who they play tonight. They play somebody. I think it's the Chicago Sky or something. I thought they play on the road. So I guess playing here is not important.
So Lauren, I want to ask you a question because you mentioned it and you talked about the away games. So
Mhm.
tell me, like, what's the most energetic away game that you saw where there was a lot of Falcon fans because there's a narrative out there that Falcon fans do not travel. Can you talk about that for a second?
I would definitely say the Panthers game, and I think that has to do with the fact that we're so close to North Carolina. But yeah, the hotel that I stayed at was probably like 7 minutes away from the hotel. And when I tell you everybody in there was a Falcons fan, like we're all in the lobby together, like they're at the hotel bar, all getting ready for the game. Like, and people were like in full blown like Falcons gear, head to toe. Like they were there to show out. So, and even at the actual game, there was honestly more Falcons fans than Panthers fans. And that's really where like I was confused like this season, like when the Panthers started to like become a better team. I'm like, where all these Panthers fans come from? Because when I was at the game, none of y'all were there. And even if like the Falcons aren't performing well, fans are still going to the game. So it's like, I'm like, y'all talk about our fan base, but y'all's until you start winning, absolutely nobody was at that game. Like it was literally empty towards the end because we started putting B to A. So it was like empty and it was just like Falcons fans. We were all yelling in there. And at that time, we had swept the division after that game. So it was like, we're all in there, like, rise up. Like, this is our stadium now. Like, so yeah, that was probably the most fans I've ever seen at an away game and like the most energy because that's back when we were doing our big one.
Man, absolutely, man. It's always fun to go take over up there at Little Brother. They
Mhm.
got that little brother syndrome up there in Charlotte. They really do.
Yeah.
They get mad at me when I say that, man, but they got that little brother syndrome. Say, listen, you've been to some away games, so obviously you got a chance to check out, outside of the stadium, the atmosphere like up there in Charlotte. I want to talk a little bit about like the tailgate scene here in Atlanta. I don't know
Mhm.
how much you've been out and around Mercedes-Benz before Falcons games, but if you didn't know, we're big tailgaters. Shout out to the Falconers tailgate crew up there on the corner of Northside Drive in Nelson, where we do it big up there. We've been to a lot of away stadiums as well. And like, it's hard to kind of explain to people that aren't from here or haven't been the atmosphere and the culture that we bring to the tailgating experience
Mhm.
for the Falcons, man. I've been to a lot of places, man. I've been to Buffalo, to Jacksonville, all over to a lot of NFL stadiums, but the tailgates here are something to see. And it's
Mhm.
really, really different, right?
Yeah.
Well, Lauren, I'm going to personally invite you to our tailgate,
Oh
which
yeah.
is the Atlanta Falcon players. I want to make sure that you come, bring your camera, bring your microphone. and make sure that you understand that when we tailgate, we've been tailgating since 2007. So, we've been doing this for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely want to personally invite you to our tailgate, and I'll give you all the details at the end of the show. But please stop by.
I definitely will. I definitely love like the tailgating atmosphere in Atlanta because it's like some people don't even go to the game. They just sit and tailgate. And it's actually a lot of people that like just have the vibes of the tailgate. And I really love that because it's like I love college football too. And so like when I was in college, I would always like go to the tailgates. I wouldn't even go to the games. I would just go to the tailgates. And it's like it gives me like this same type of vibe of like genuine fans just all coming together to like party, watch the game, and like just cheer on the team. And then even like post game, it's still going on. And then like people will go to like the surrounding bars and restaurants and things. Like game days are literally like just party all day. That's why I love game days because it's like fun all day, especially when we win because now we're all lit and we're just all like partying together. So yeah, I think that has to do a lot with like Atlanta culture in general, just us being such a like we love to have fun in this city. So the tailgates definitely I feel like show how much fun we actually can have as fan base.
Shout out your college, coach. You said it twice. You never did say where you went. So go ahead and shout out your college.
You said where'd I go to college?
Yes.
I went to Georgia State University,
Okay.
but me going to Georgia State, I met a lot of people at like the surrounding schools. So it was like I went to a lot of Georgia Tech games and like UGA games too. And like I knew a lot of people who played football there. So it's like I really feel like I went to all the schools.
Hey, that's not a problem. We appreciate you shouting out Georgia State in the city.
Oh yeah, Georgia State. But yeah, I graduated last year.
That was up.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Listen, Lauryn, we didn't get a chance. We know we're just assuming. We know you love all Atlanta sports. Do you have a preference of a sport that you like most than others, or do you have a favorite team that you just like? This is my baby. So I love this team. I'm not to say we love it better than the rest, but I really love this team.
I would definitely say it's actually kind of crazy because it changed. Like in high school, I definitely loved the NBA a lot more. But now, like, I still love all my teams. But I think as I've gotten older, football has become like my favorite sport. I think I might have to do a lot to do with like NBA media. I don't really like NBA media, so it's kind of hard for me to like fully engage with the NBA when I don't really like the media about it. But like I like NFL media and I like NFL fans better because I feel like they're more fun to like argue with and like go back and forth with because we're more passionate, I feel like, than NBA teams, especially because they play so many games and like there's so much you have to keep up with. But like in the NFL, you play one game a week, you prepare all week for that one game, and then on Sunday you win or lose and you go into next week. So I think as I've gotten older, I like that aspect about football better. It just adds more like passion for the sport versus like watching my team play every single night like that. I love football, but I could not watch a Falcons game every single night. Like I think the fact that we can only watch them once a week, there's so much like
You would die.
anticipation.
Yeah,
You
your
would die.
heart can
You would
take it.
die.
Your heart can take
You
it.
would die if you watch the Falcons every day.
Yeah.
The cardiac burn.
You too young for blood pressure medication.
Yeah, you just said it, Leo. I forgot. I was still folks term the blood pressure balance.
Yes.
Exactly. The blood pressure birds, boy, they get you every time. Hey, look, Lauryn, you told us about last year at the Tampa game when you saw Kurt throw for like 500 and got us all hyped up, got us all, we was, we about to do this thing, man. We all kind of know how that fizzled out. I don't even want to relive that in my head, man, because it's gonna just do nothing but make me mad, man, and raise my blood pressure up a little bit, man. But I'm looking forward to going into this season. Are there any other like moments that you can think of besides that moment that you just kind of are fond of and were like, man, it's a real kind of cool moment in Atlanta sports, since you kind of been to all of the events? You even said Georgia Tech and UGA. Any other cool moments that you've had?
This was actually an away game. The Eagles winning. I mean, the Falcons beating the Eagles was like top tier moment last season too. Like I was literally on live, I remember, and like me and all the fans were just in there going crazy. Like that, I'll never forget that either because it was like so insane the way that we won that game. And then trying trying to think. Oh, I went to game 6 of the when the Hawks were supposed to go to the Eastern Conference Finals that day. Even though they ended up losing game 6 and went on to game 7, that's still like a core memory for me because it was like I've never been to a Hawks game that was like so passionate in my life. Like everyone in there was like standing up the entire game. Trae Young going crazy. Everyone's like screaming. The game went down to like the last few minutes, and like those are the type of moments I love about sports. Like I love a blowout, but those close games are probably my favorite. When we win, when we lose, it's like ugh. But like when we win a close game, there's nothing better than that. So yeah, that was really disappointing to lose that game, but it's like such a core memory because like the Hawks, we haven't seen them perform that well in a long time. So that was really cool to witness for sure.
Can I ask you this? Because you talked about 2 other teams that you went to away games. Have you ever gone to a New Orleans Saints Falcons away game?
I have not. And that's definitely, I'm like bucket list this year. I'm definitely going this year. I didn't end up going last year because like by the time I decided I wanted to go, New Orleans is really small and I didn't like realize how small it was. And so like the hotels and everything were like super duper expensive because they were all basically sold out. So I was like, dang, so this year I'm gonna get my stuff early.
Yes, because
Absolutely.
when you
That's
talked
the
about
experience.
when you talked about the experience that you had in North Carolina, Charlotte,
hmm
your whole mindset will change when you go to an Saints Falcons game in New Orleans. Just telling you, hands down, one of the best experiences that
hmm
you will have as far as a football rivalry, especially in the
Yeah.
NFL.
You got to be built
It,
a little different too. Banks will tell you this as well, and Derrico
listen,
just said it. You got to be built a little different when you get
they're
down there
they're
Oh
amongst them
yeah.
H fans.
crybabies. They
I
are
like to
very
argue, so
they cry babies. They are very sore losers. Please believe, okay?
oh I'm
They're different when they come here, but when
Mhm.
down there for some apparent reason they
What do you
feel
mean?
like
Come here. They live here. What are you talking about?
I
no,
was about to
no,
say
I'm
most
talking
of them
about the
still here.
ones, the ones that actually go to the games. That yeah, like you said, live here. But the ones that are here versus the one that's there are different. You go down there, you're talking smack. They'll take it
Mhm.
if they're winning, but if they lose, you can't say nothing to them, which is I don't understand because I thought it was just a football game. But you know,
Yeah.
Lauren,
Mhm.
before I forget, it seemed like you had a lot of, Atlanta sports, like kind of like ingrained in your DNA.
Mhm.
In your opinion, and we're talking about specifically the Hawks and the Falcons because they're the ones without a championship. What do you believe, or what do you think will happen if one of those teams will win a championship, let's say today?
Mhm.
What would it do for the city? What would it do for the culture, if you will? Would it
I think the city would flip upside down because it's like NBA and NFL, especially with us being more of like a black city, are way more popular. Like even when the Atlanta Braves won that championship back in 2021, we all showed out for that. So it's like, and we don't even watch. Well, I be watching baseball, but like a lot of us do not watch baseball. So it's like just the fact that they won and we were able to go to a parade and like celebrate a team, like a national championship in our city. Even Atlanta United, like people all showed out for that too. So it's like I can't even imagine if we're showing up for teams that people don't even watch for real, how they would show up for like the Hawks or the Falcons, those being NBA and NFL teams that are very popular in this city. I think we'll literally party for like 30 days and 30 nights. Like they're gonna have to like cancel work and cancel school for the parade because it's like we've never,
um
especially how long these teams have been here and we've yet to win a championship. And then whenever we get close to it, there's always like this huge disappointment. So it's like I feel like that even adds more to how excited the city would be when we do get those championships because it's like finally we done been through so much. Like it's
that's
time to
real
party.
talk. That's real talk.
Mhm.
I remember people that's not from this city will ask me that same question. Said, "What would y'all do if y'all really won?" I said, "You have no idea. It
Somebody
goes
said it'll be
beyond.
like
It
Sherman
goes
coming back through here
beyond.
during like the Civil War.
It's not about talking smack or anything. I think it will be a
No.
release. It'll be a huge
Yes.
release, and it will be a big celebration. They said, well, you guys are going, you gonna riot the city, gonna set the city on fire. Yeah, they probably
It's gonna
will.
be a
But it
party.
would be warranted. It was like you have to realize that this has been years. I
Hmm.
mean years of ups and downs, and don't know if we're gonna return. And all of a sudden, if you finally get it, it's just a release.
Yes.
Hey,
Yeah.
Lauren, before I pass it over to Derek here to give you a little more info, because we're about to hit the mark. Didn't want to forget about, we are big members of Footy Mob. Footy Mob is SG, one of the supporters groups with Atlanta United. I mean, Atlanta United has taken a little turn this year, obviously, man, but we tailgate for Atlanta United as well. So definitely gonna send you the invite to come out, check out one of our
Yes.
Footy Mob tailgates as well. We do it pretty awesome over there. You know what I'm saying? Derrico and I like to hold it down, man. And we have a ball out there as well. So
Mhm.
definitely extend the invitation. So next time you're at one of the Atlanta United games, we'll give you a heads up, man. You can definitely come through there, man. Derrico, let us know about the Falconers players again, man, before we close this thing out.
Yeah, so Lauren, we tailgate on Northside Drive, right across from Atlanta, Tucky. You know where Atlanta, Tucky is?
Yeah.
So we tailgate right across the street between Atlanta, Tucky and the bookstore. So we between a beer factory and a cannabis store. So we have the whole parking lot
Mhm.
basically to ourselves. So when you come over there, you'll understand how we tailgate in Atlanta. So what I'll do, like I said, I'll give you more information. We'll let you know when they come down, especially the first game of the season, which is September 7th, if I'm not mistaken, against Tampa Bay, which is a Virgo tailgate. And I can just tell you, any tailgate that's a Virgo tailgate will be off the chart. So I'll make
Mhm.
sure that's the one that you come to.
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah, I'm excited.
Virgo Bash. Lauren, look, we're at the mark here. Before we wrap this thing up, man, we definitely appreciate you coming to hang with us. And you
Sure.
definitely have an invite anytime you want to come on and chop it up with sports. Definitely, since we did the meet and greet, we come back at it, get
Yeah.
really into the meat of what we talk about. Since I know you like to debate and kind of argue, I know Banks is chopping
I
at the
love
bit to kind of
arguing.
get some of your takes on everything. Let
Mhm.
everybody know where they can find you, because there's several different places that they can find you, man, because we definitely want them to follow you, man, and support what you're doing.
Yeah. On every social media except for Twitter, it's gonna be Quarters with Porter. So quarters like a game quarter, then just with Porter. And then my Twitter is the only one that's different. It's just gonna be Lauren Sage.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Fellas, man, it's been an awesome show. Before we cut out of here, man, we're going to go around like we usually do it, man. Derek Cole, man, let everybody know where they can find you at, man, if they can still find you, because you've been gone for a long time.
Hey, I have life. But you know what, Lauren? I like how you did that quarters analogy. So that means she's a indulger, and I like that. So, but you can reach me at Facebook at Stacey D. Derrico. You can reach me on, what is that? Snapchat at DJ Cairo 6. You can reach me on, where am I? Like, I've been gone for so long. Oh, you know what social media platforms I'm on anymore? You can reach me on that little TikTok thing at black_Virgo. You can reach me on IG at Derrico Virgo _.
Thanks. Let everybody know where they can find you at, brother.
Before I do that, Miss Lauren, I wanted to let you know that what my ritual that I do at the Falcons games, that I go around halftime, I go see these two guys here. I go and meet up with them and talk a little crap with them. I would love to come find you, ma'am, if we can, like, I don't know. I just feel like it's connection with this Atlanta sports, and I'm loving every minute
Mhm.
of it. I will,
Shout out
if
217. Shout out
listen,
217 at NBA.
122 and Mercedes Benz. If you would let us, I will definitely come shout out to you every single game
Oh
at every
yeah.
single point. Throw my hands up at you, whatever, getting a little, screenshot, whatever. But I would love to do that with you as part of my tradition. Um, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Of
Um,
course.
everyone, if you been trying to locate me, I have a new way for you can find me. Of course, it's Antoine Jarrell Banks on Facebook or Baby Banks 80 on the gram. If you can't find me there, you can look for this guy here or this guy down here and ask, where's Banks at? I forget. It just hit me like a ton of bricks. Of course, ask these two gentlemen, where's Banks? They will tell you where I'm at.
in my
Listen
pocket,
here,
man.
listen here, Leo. Don't, not today, brother.
Man, listen, look, you can always catch the show, man. You know, get at us on Facebook if y'all still over there. Get us over at the Twitter at ATL Three Style. Hit us up over there. I gotta do a little better at getting out here, man, and trying to get in these streets and get it. Like you say, a fight in the comments. I might do that a little more coming up this season, man. Southern
Literally
Set
arguing
with 2
right
T's.
now.
Southern Set with 2 T's, man. Hit me up over there. That's my personal Twitter account. Also, look, we want to shout out our partners, man. Shout out our boy Bachi over there. BEZ. Yeah, shout out our boy Bachi over there with BEZ, and also shout out our boy at Easton's Woodworking Company, man. Y'all can get at them as well, man, and we'll definitely be around for another episode, man. Yeah, definitely hit my boy Phil up. So look, there's been another edition of the ATL Three Style Podcast. Look forward to seeing you guys later.
Shots on me. No shots on me, man.
Perfect. Bye, y'all. Thank you for having me.